We a nation of Raiders. It's a nation of Raiders. We a nation of Raiders. It's a nation of Raiders.
Hello, viewers, and welcome to another edition of InBounds with the Oakland Raiders. I'm Bobino, filling in for Melinda today. Today we have second-year tight end Mychal Rivera out of the University of Tennessee, and in high school as well. You went to Birmingham High School in Van Nuys, California. So like I said, you're in your second season. You're the starting tight end with the Oakland Raiders. What is the responsibilities of a tight end?
Well, I always of a tight end is, half the time we block and then half the time we catch like a receiver. So, we got many roles and, we play multiple positions. Sometimes I even tell people we play 4 or 5 positions. We block like a lineman, we catch balls like a receiver, and then, we block like a fullback as well, move around, and then, you always got to see the game through the quarterback's eyes. So we play multiple positions.
Right, and you're in your second year at the University of Tennessee, and the starter last year was supposed to be Ashbury, but then he had got hurt. So you had got thrown into the tight end position at a really quick start. Yeah. How was that adjustment for you?
Well, no matter where you are in the depth chart in the NFL, you got to prepare like you are the starter. It's a next man up mentality, and I just go out there every day. I work hard, and I do what these coaches tell me to do, and I'm looking for success every day.
Now let's reflect back to when you was at Birmingham High School in Van Nuys, California. I noticed your senior year you only played football, and you're an athletic guy. Why did you only play one sport your senior year?
Well, I had a few scholarship offers, so I figured I was just going to narrow my focus on my plan A, which was football. And, I'm really glad I did that because it really paid off.
Perfect. And then you end up going to the University of Tennessee, but I want to stay on high school for a quick second.
Okay.
A lot of times people think because they're very athletically gifted that's going to get them on in life. Can you let my viewing audience know, especially athletes, females as well as males, the importance of education and hitting the books?
Yeah, being athletically inclined doesn't get you very far if that's the only thing that you have to offer. You have to be smart, you have to be a good person with great character, and you also got to be educated in order to get ahead in life. There's countless amount of players that I've seen growing up, as well as everybody else has seen, that have all the athletic talent in the world, more than me, that aren't in my shoes. And it's sad and it's unfortunate, but the kids got to realize to stay in school and to always excel outside of athletics.
Now, like you said, you have some friends that was more gifted than you. Do you kind of, what did they end up doing if they didn't get that scholarship? Are they doing positive things now because they didn't take their school seriously? Let them know the really importance how just because things don't work out, you still got to get that school.
Yeah, if things don't work out, you still have to go to school and you still have to get your education because in the end of the day, even a guy like me that makes it to the NFL, one day I will be out of the NFL. So no matter who you are going to be somewhere in life where athletics, you can't depend on athletics. So
when you came out of Birmingham High, you ended up getting a scholarship to the University of Tennessee. You're from California. How did you end up at Tennessee?
Yeah, I actually went through a long road when I first came from Birmingham High School. I went to the University of Oregon first, and then I transferred back to junior college, and then after that I went to the University of Tennessee. So real humbling experience, man, and it just really shows, my fight to succeed, and it's a great story for other people to learn from. If you get knocked down, you got to get back up.
So you talking about knocked down. Right now, the Raiders were winless, but I know we're going to get eventually. But sometimes you have players out there or teams out there that don't win either. Why is it important to still keep positivity even though the season ain't going as you had planned?
You always got to have a winner's mentality even though the results of the game, the scoreboard might not look the same. Life is going to throw you curveballs. Life is going to throw you bad things and possibilities that happen that you don't like. But it's all how you overcome it. You throw away the rear view in the car, look forward, and be a better person tomorrow than you are today.
Now let's talk about when you was at the University of Tennessee. You came from a junior college, and then you majored in media productions, communications. How hard was it to focus while you're in college as well as playing sports?
It's pretty difficult because, you got to go to practice and you got to manage, 2 different lives at once. But, University of Tennessee as well as all these other universities offer great, student-athlete programs, and they keep you accountable for all your work. And really, it's all up to you. If you're a motivated person, you can overcome it. You just got to focus on time management, and then you got to focus on your goals.
Excellent question. Next question is peer pressure. Sometimes a lot of student athletes get caught up with peer pressure where they end up hanging out with people that they shouldn't hang out with. How did you avoid peer pressure growing up?
You know, I can credit my parents for you know, you have to be strong mentally to overcome peer pressure. You know, a lot of your friends are going to make the wrong decisions, but you got to understand at the end of the day, it's you. You're accountable for you. And, you know, if you do what they do, you might fall into that same trap. So you got to be smart.
Now let's talk health real quick. A lot of kids today, they don't believe in really going out and getting the proper exercise. Why is Play 60 so important in kids' life?
Yeah, Play 60 is really important. You know, to get your heart rate going, I mean, it just shows a lot for your body's growing and developing. You know, if you just sit down and you're not doing anything, it's not really good for your body. And also, you know, years down the road, that's going to take a toll. So always get up, work out. Even if you're doing something fun, getting on your bike, running around with your friends, just do something a day. And, you know, I love the Play 60 program.
Now let me ask you this real quick in reference to things that you should eat, because I know a lot of youngsters like to eat candy, junk food, but their body metabolism burns it a lot quicker. Why should they try to stay away from junk food at an early age?
Yeah, well, staying away from junk food, it's all about habits. You know, if you create a bad habit by eating junk food now when you're 15, 16 years old, you know, you look up and you're 26 and that metabolism is slowed down and you're still eating that junk food and it's not good. So practice good habits no matter what age you're at, and then you'll get into a great routine, a winning routine, as I call it.
So, you know, you got a bright future as a tight end. Like I said, you're only in your second year. Have you thought about once your career ends, would you go into acting like your sister, Naya?
I mean, that would be cool, but right now, you know, I'm taking it one day at a time and just focusing on my career and trying to be the best tight end I can be.
Right now, I want to close this interview out, but I need you to leave my viewing audience with some type of positive thoughts that your parents may have taught you, because all it takes is one thing that somebody can hear from a pro athlete like yourself, and they can take that and make them become successful in life. So can you leave my viewing audience any type of positive thoughts or quotes that you may have that your parents told you?
Yeah. One message I would leave to everybody would be, you know, when people knock you down or tell you you can't do something, always prove them wrong, because it's you. In your heart, if you believe you can do it, and always dream big and accomplish your goals.
Well, Mychal, continued success. You're in your second year out of University of Tennessee, and keep doing your thing as tight end.
Hey, thank you, guys.
All right, I'm Mario Bobino with another edition of InBounds with the Oakland Raiders.